Hi guys, I'm working again today, so you're going to actually get a taste of my work again, I guess, today. And right now you're going to get a taste of what I'm getting ready to eat. Right here is a sandwich that I get sometimes from Speedway. Speedway is a major gas station that's in my area. It's where you can get also Speedway points that can add up to you know, free gift cards, free gas, free food inside the store, and just all kinds of different stuff like that. This one here actually cost $1.89 or 2 for $3. I usually just only get one sandwich, so that's all I usually get. It does taste pretty good though, I'll tell you that. Let's see if I can get this open up here so you can see it. Give me a second, guys. I'm also driving too at the same time. Oh crap, I'm about to spill on me now. So yeah, that's what it looks like, and then hopefully you can see the inside view there. But yeah, it tastes pretty good though, and it's actually a lot quicker than getting it from McDonald's too, to tell you the truth, because of the fact that you can just go right in here. It's in a warmer thing, you just grab it and then pay for it and go. So it ends up being faster than McDonald's though. So that's it for now, guys. I'll get you some more stuff later on today though. Okay guys, so I figured while I was driving today too, since I'm working today and I'm driving and stuff, I'd try to talk about some different topics and stuff too. And one of the things I was going to talk about today was, I think it's crazy how there is some cities, I don't know for sure how many does it, but there are some cities though that for some reason they don't want to put signs on their streets no more, or their intersections or whatever. Because there was the intersection I was at earlier that thankfully I already knew the area a little bit, and I could remember the stuff that was around the area and stuff, so I can figure out which way I was going, but it didn't have no sign on it. And it was a major intersection too, so it makes absolutely no sense why you would not have any signs on any of those areas. And I mean, it was a four-way direction, so you got traffic coming from two directions on one way and two directions on another street as well. So you got four-way traffic going on, but yet for some reason they had no signs. So if somebody's from out of town, you know, how are they gonna find their way around? Now I know some people, of course, obviously gonna have GPS and stuff like that, but you know, not everybody actually still has GPS. Some people still have some old school phones, and some people, you know, have to use maps and stuff like that too. So, you know, it'd be nice. And you know, that's another thing too. The city that I'm in right now, or the town that I'm in right now, is actually kind of a rich area too. So they have no excuse. They've got money that they can do stuff like that, put up signs, but for some reason they just, you know, well, some of those streets didn't want to put up, and that's the thing too, is it wasn't just that intersection. There is other intersections in this town that I'm in right now that for some reason they don't want to do that. I don't know why that is, but whatever, it is what it is. But like I said, thankfully I already pretty much knew the area anyway, so I ended up being able to find my way as it is, so I can be able to get back to my to where I'm going to though. Well, yeah, that's it though for this clip though. I just wanted to talk about that real quick, guys. Hi guys, I figured for this clip I'd go ahead and talk about a video that I was watching last night. One of the guys that I'm subscribed to on YouTube, his channel name is called Dan Travels, and he had a video that I watched last night where he was talking about how if you do try to live the van life, you know, van lifestyle, or living mobile type lifestyle, that you want to make sure that you got some money put back for repairs, especially if you don't know how to work on cars and stuff yourself. You want to try to put back around $2,000, and I can agree with that though big time, because you know, if you think about it though, if you're doing that full time, especially like I am, if you get out there sometime and your van breaks down and you don't have no money to get it repaired, or you know, especially even for parts for that matter, to work on it yourself, then that could be a scary thought, to be thinking that you could be stuck and you might even have it taken away from you too, because you know, if you're out there on the road and if it's for too long of a period of time, you can get towed, and you know, if you don't have enough money to get it, you know, back out of the towing yard, you might just be screwed. You might just be out of a van, so that means you might be out of your home and your wheels both at the same time. So I can definitely agree with what he was talking about. Now, of course, if you know how to work on cars, then you don't have to necessarily put back $2,000. But even still, you gotta have money for parts though too. So, you know, either way it goes, you need to have some money put back for sure, for the fact of having to do some repairs though sometimes. You know, it's something that's going to be expected, because like me too, just recently, probably over a week ago now, I had to get my brakes fixed, and you know, it cost me around $100 for that, and that was even on the cheap side then, because, you know, luckily since I deliver auto parts, I was able to get a good discount on some parts, and luckily too, I was able to get a good deal with the guy that helped me, or that put them on for me though. So that helped out, you know, a lot too though. So yeah, I just wanted to say I agree big time with what he's talking about though, is that, you know, it's definitely a good thing to have some money put back if you're going to try to live that type of lifestyle. Now, I mean, like I said, if you know how to work on cars, and you don't have to put back as much, but still, you want to put back some money for sure though. And what I would suggest too is, especially if you are working or whatever, is to try to put back money each month toward repairs. So that way you got money in reserve in case something does happen. Now, if nothing ever does happen, then you're just putting back money anyways, and you know, still got some extra money in your pocket by the time it's all said and done. But at least be putting back some money though every single month anyways for repairs, because you just never know though. Plus, you never know if something might happen to where your equipment inside your van might fail too. Like for example, like my Mr. Buddy heater, you know, it's having problems right now, as you guys should know from watching my videos, and so I might have to get another one. So if I already had money put back, then it wouldn't be an issue at all for me. So, you know, it's just some stuff to think about right there. Now, for different people though, I mean, you're going to have different reasons as far as why you want to live in a van anyways. But for me, I had to try to hurry up and get it done as quick as possible, because if you guys have been long-time subscribers of mine or watched my past previous videos, you know that I was actually in the shelter before. And when you're in the shelter, you're pretty much in jail. In fact, mine literally was in jail too, for that matter, because the shelter I was staying at used to be a women's prison years ago, and now it's been converted into the shelter for men. It's a men's shelter now. And but the thing is when you're staying in the shelter, you got to be in there at a certain time. It's I think you got to be there by 7 o'clock if I can remember right now. It's been a little while since I've been in there, but you got to be there every single day at 7 o'clock. So, you know, my thing is I wanted to make sure I had some freedom too as quick as possible. So first, of course, I had a car when I was there in the shelter, because I was working a full-time job at the time, and I saved up and got myself a car. And then I saved up some money and got myself the van that I've got. And but I wanted to hurry up and do that so I can have some freedom. Now the thing is they do try to put you up into an apartment for, they try to pay the first month rent and maybe even like the second month's rent as well. But then after that you got to start paying the rent on your own. But that's the thing about that too, is if you don't have a decent full-time job by the time it comes around, and you're not able to pay rent, then what? Then you're out on the streets again. And the way the shelter's rules is, especially the one that's in my town, is that once you've stayed in the shelter, you cannot go back in there for 1 full year. So think about that, you know, they're also really pretty much setting you up for failure, because if you're not able to pay that rent after that 2 months is over, then you're going to be screwed. You're going to be back out on the streets again for sure. So what I wanted to do was, I wanted to say, forget this crap. I want to make for sure that no matter what, I got a place I can stay. I got a place that I can lay my head down every single night, guaranteed, no matter what, and it's something that I own, something that I don't have to worry about, you know, not being able to pay rent or whatever. Something that I can actually say it's mine for sure, and it's going to always be there. So that was my thought process on that though, and that's why I decided to go ahead and get that van as soon as I could. Now, if I had the money to do it, yeah, I would have got something better for sure than what I got. Because what I got, you know, it's definitely a bucket. I'll admit to that in a heartbeat. But at the time, I did what I had to do. That's how I seen it, though. You know, sometimes you got to do what you got to do to make things happen. So, but I mean, overall, though, I mean, it has done me pretty good. Like I said before, I've had it for a little over a year now. And really, about the only repair I've really done on it is the brakes. That just recently happened in that full period of time. So, really, if you think about it, I'm actually doing very good in it, considering the fact that that's the only repair I've actually had to do on it. I mean, it does need other stuff for sure. It does need stuff done to it for sure, no matter what. But as far as running wise, though, I mean, it's still running though for sure right now though. So yeah, that's it for now, guys, for this clip. I just wanted to try to, you know, talk about that and hopefully give some of you guys some tips too to think about, and some thought process, you know, different things to think about, whatever, as far as those type of topics. But I'll get you guys another clip later on here today too, though. Okay, guys, so I figured this trip, though, this round that I was making as far as dropping off parts, I'll talk this time about the temperatures. Today's temperature, I seen a billboard earlier, it was saying 53 degrees, and it does sound about right, because I was looking at the weather last night too. And in fact, the temperatures last night only got down to about 40 degrees last night as far as how cold it was. So I didn't even have to worry about my Mr. Buddy heater at all anyways. In fact, I was actually pretty warm in my sleeping bag as it was. And tonight, I think it's supposed to be around 43 degrees as far as the temperatures tonight though. So again, it's going to be the same case. I won't have to worry about it again. And then tomorrow night, I think it's supposed to be like 38 degrees for the nighttime temperature as well. So within these past 3 days anyways, I'm not going to have to worry about the heater whatsoever, because my sleeping bag will keep me well warm. In fact, I'll be a little bit on the hot side for that matter, because in fact last night I was a little bit on the hot side though. But it's what I think though is crazy is I do still see sometimes some people, well, mainly guys more than anything else, that here and there when it's still cold, like, you know, 25 degrees or 30 degrees outside, I'll still see some guys that's walking around with shorts on. And it's like, man, are you insane or are you retarded or what? Because, you know, I understand that they're, you know, driving in their car and just going inside of a place real quick or whatever, but what happens if they get stuck somewhere? What happens if their car stalls or a blizzard comes all of a sudden? Because in fact, I think it's been about a month now. Some of you guys might remember that in Buffalo, New York, they had a fast blizzard that moved in on them, and there was people that actually died because they got caught in that storm, and they got caught in their cars and stuff, and they was not prepared for it, and they actually died from it. So that can happen here in Ohio too. It's not like that's impossible to be happening in Ohio. We can get freak blizzards and stuff like that as well. And so I don't know what people's thought process is, why they can't, you know, think about trying to get prepared. But I mean, there's no reason not to have clothes on, and especially have some pants on in the wintertime. And if you I mean, if anything, you should definitely want to have a coat on too, for that matter. And if you get, you know, too hot, you can take your coat off and keep it in the car or something. But actually, in fact, come to think about it too, I had to get on my son's case about that as well, because last time I did get to see my son, that's when you guys seen that video. It's when I gave him my that present for his birthday, and being that laptop. But when his mom was taking me back home, or, you know, back to where I'm staying anyways, in the area, he didn't have his coat with him. He just had on like a sweat jacket and sweatpants and stuff like that. So I had to get on him too, you know, and try to have him realize that, look, you know, that's what I told him too about the Buffalo case. You need to make sure that you got your coat with you at all times, because you can always take it off if you get too hot, but if you don't have it, then what? Then you're screwed. So it's better to be prepared and have that type of thing ready to go, just in case, because you just never know. So, you know, another thing too is I want to say real quick though is that you know, when you guys have a car too, there should be a lesson as far as that Buffalo thing, that you guys should have stuff in your car as well, not just your van if you got one, or whatever mobile living situation you got, but even if you just got a regular car, you should have supplies in it as well, like extra blankets, maybe even like a stove as well if you can afford it, and you know, different things like that as far as food and water as well. Stuff that you guys should have in your car as well, because you just never know if you might get caught in a situation like that. But yeah, that's it for this clip. That's all I really wanted to say, and I'll see if I can get you guys something else going on later on today as well. Hi guys, back again. This time I wanted to talk about the fact that I'm actually 15 minutes behind right now, or 15 minutes running late, because of the last one I just did, because there was an accident. And I see that they did have a girl that was over on inside the curb sitting down and stuff, so you know, I do hope that she is okay and stuff. But you know, my point is on this fact, as far as what I'm talking about, is the fact that you know, if it was more than likely a assured cleared distance is what they would call it, and it looks like that was probably what the case was, because she didn't leave herself enough room, or whoever it was that was driving for sure didn't leave themselves enough room. And when it's raining outside, you got to leave yourself some more room than what you would, of course, if it's a dry pavement. Whether it's raining or it's snow and ice or whatever it is, you got to leave yourself some more room between you and the person in the front. And it's really common sense, but for some reason there seems to be a lot of people that acts like they don't know how to drive at all. And it's really pretty sad, because you know, then of course you're going to have wrecks, you're going to have lots of damage you're going to have to pay for, possibly people getting hurt real bad and having to deal with that, and all kinds of unnecessary stuff to have to be dealing with, because of the simple fact that so many people don't know how to drive. Like all the time too, even on the highway, it really ticks me off when people are in the fast lane and they just hang out. They just hang out all day long in the left lane, knowing that it's a passing lane, that they're supposed to be getting over to the right side if they're not passing somebody. But you'll have people that just hangs out there all day long, like they ain't got nothing better else to do. You know, and it's like, come on people, learn how to drive, you know. But yeah, it's really sad though. And I think actually in my state they did raise the age limit to 18 years old now to be able to get your license. It used to be 16 years old, but I might be wrong. I mean, I haven't checked into it in a long time. I was able to get my license when I was 16 for sure, but that was like 1,000 years ago, because I'm an old man. But I think they did actually raise that to 18 years old now though in Ohio, but I don't know. Maybe you guys can look that up for me and let me know. But yeah, it's just crazy though that so many people are out there on the roads that don't have a clue on how to drive. It's a thing where, you know, they really need to try to raise the limits to 18 if they haven't already done so in all the states, and they also need to have it to where the training is a lot better too. Better training and longer training as well too, before somebody can get their license. From what I heard, if you're overseas, like in UK and places like that, now I don't know if it's true, but that's what I heard though, is that they got a whole lot stricter laws and rules as far as being able to get your license than we do over here. But you know, also too, you got the Autobahn that's over there to where you're on most of the Autobahn anyways areas, you don't have any speed limit at all. You can go just about as fast as you want. So it's understandable why then too, why there should be more strict, but still, you know, whether you're going 150 miles an hour or whether you're going 60 miles an hour, you know, once you get in a wreck, you can still die either way it goes. So, you know, either way it goes, you need to still have them strict over here as far as people going through training and learning how to actually drive the right way. So, I don't know. That's just my rant and rave though too for this clip though, but I think that's it for now, guys. It's probably going to be it for the whole day too as well. And I should be able to get to the library tonight too to get this uploaded. So, of course, as always, if you guys have any questions or concerns, let me know. Feel free, of course, to leave a comment, and I'll get back to you guys as soon as I can. So, thanks for watching, guys, and have a great day. Okay, guys, one more thing, though, is I just did want to go ahead and show this to you real quick, though. You see right there, Speedy Rewards points. I got 72 points for this visit. My new balance right now is 8,959. Now the thing is though, is when you're when I fill up the cars that we're driving for the company I'm driving for, I get to use the fleet card. It's actually $1.94 right now too, right now for gas. You probably can't see it, but I actually get to use the fleet card though too that they got, and I get to swipe my Speedy Rewards card though, and so that way I'm getting free points as far as when I'm doing my fill ups on these cars. And it adds up pretty good, because when you get to 10,000 points, you can get a $10 gas card for free. So I'm almost there, as you can see, 8,009 something that I got left. So it's working out pretty good to be able to do that though. It's getting myself some free points. Now, not all those points I got is from my driving for the company, but the majority of them are though. Go ahead and put this down so nobody can see what's going on. But the majority of them though that I'm getting actually are from driving for the company. So that's another nice benefit though as well. So it's always good to try to think about stuff like that, and look out for things like that if you can, for whatever company you're driving for, or not driving for, but you know, whatever company you're working for. Try to see if there's any extra rewards or any type of perks like that that you can take advantage of though. And if you can, definitely go ahead and use those as much as you can though. But yeah, that's it guys, for this one. Actually, one last thing I could say too is, like right here, you see I got some paper towels. I got that from the gas station just now as well too. And I've talked about that before in the past, that, you know, that's a little trick that you guys can think about too, is anytime you get a fill up, if you get those paper towels that they got there, get, you know, a pretty good bunch of those, then if you do that on a regular basis, then it'll be at a point where you won't hardly ever have to buy any paper towels at all. The whole time that I've had my van, I've probably only bought paper towels probably like twice. That's it, the whole time I've had my van. And like I said, I've had my van over a year now, so that tells you, you know, how much that can come in handy for you though. So that's it for now guys. Of course, thanks for watching. I mean, if you have any questions or concerns, I'll get back to you as I can. Have a great day guys.